You ever get that one subscriber who's always there? First like, first comment, first DM 24/7. At first, it's flattering. You think, wow, I'm building community. But parasocial love doesn't stay cute. It ferments. I stream late, candles on, mic low, leaning into that cozy, creepy vibe. Chats popping. Then there's Atlas. Every session, every post. He knows my upload rhythm better than I do. He compliments the lighting like he's in the room. He remembers tiny things I say by accident. Which mug I used, which wall creaks at 3 a.m., the pattern in my curtains. I shrug it off. People notice stuff online. That's the deal. But Atlas starts sending tips with messages that read like diary entries. You're safest when the blinds are closed. Then a package shows up. Scented candles. The exact brand I bought at the corner shop 4 blocks from my place. I rewatch my last streams like investigating a crime scene. Did I flash a receipt? A street sign? Nothing obvious. I switch backgrounds, scrub metadata, fake neighborhood stories. I even get an alias mailbox across town. Still, Atlas stays omnipresent. Always first. Always sweet. Always there. The DMs turn domestic. He's not just reacting, he's narrating our imaginary life. Leftover soup tonight? You liked tomato last week, I never posted soup. That's when the floor drops. My external hard drive pings like it just mounted. I'm not touching it. Then my stream deck triggers a scene change I didn't map. Camera 2 blips. My laptop webcam capped with a shutter, which means someone else pinged it. I slam the laptop shut. I spend all night nuking passwords, rotating 2-factor authentication, running scans. I set up an air-gapped laptop just for streaming. New season, new setup, I tell chat. Atlas sends a heart. We evolve together. Cute if it wasn't a threat in a sweater. Then there's the doorbell. 3:07 a.m. 3 sharp rings. I freeze. The peephole is empty. But taped to the door is a photo. A still from my latest stream, except taken from angle 3. I only have 2 cameras. Angle 3 is from outside my window. I call the cops. Shrug. Landlord shrugs too. I order heavier curtains. I tell myself this is paranoia with Wi-Fi. Next stream, I smile stiffly. We're doing a chilled Q&A. Atlas drops another tip. I miss the candles. The new curtains swallow your glow. My chest tightens. The curtains went up this morning. I end early and crawl to the window. Something flashes across the street. A little red dot. Not a toy. A focus assist blink. Someone's camera hunting in the dark. The street's quiet, but the air feels packed with eyes. I sleep in the bathroom, door locked, tub cold against my back. Morning comes grainy, like my life picked up VHS noise. I make coffee with shaking hands, and that's when I see it. My doormat flipped. A neat flip, like a turned-down service at a haunted hotel. Underneath, a small USB drive in a Ziploc bag, labeled with a heart sticker. I don't plug it in. I take it to a shop that does forensics. The tech guy plugs it into a quarantined machine and pale faces halfway through. There's a folder, he says, voice blank. It's titled Hours. It's screenshots from your streams, but also drafts of your captions. Stuff you typed and deleted. He glances at me. And a map. Pings arranged around your building, street corners, rooftops, the laundromat. Every spot where a person could stand with a camera and see inside. I don't cry. Something heavier fills the space instead. I go home and stop streaming. I post a note, taking a break. Atlas replies instantly, rest. I'll keep watch. Days stretch like old chewing gum. No lives, no posts. I sleep with the TV on, volume low. Then, at 3:07 a.m., my phone buzzes with a new email. No subject, no sender. The body is a single sentence. If you won't let me in, I'll come in as the light. A second later, my lamps flicker. My TV snaps to static. I yank the breaker. Darkness slams down like a lid. The window glows faint. Then the glow moves, slow, like someone lifting a lantern outside. It passes along my window, hunting for a seam. When it finds the gap between curtain panels, it stops. I stop breathing. After a minute, the glow drifts away. I hear a stairwell door open and close. When morning arrives, I call a locksmith for the third time this month. He changes the locks with a face that says he's seen this before. I move out that week. Different borough, different name on the buzzer. I get a P.O. box 2 cities over, and every piece of content I make now is a lie about where I am. I scrub backgrounds until they're blank as witness protection. The vibe changes. Less cozy, more bunker. People notice. Subs dip. Atlas vanishes. Relief comes as a trickle that turns into rain. I sleep without adrenaline in my gums. The quiet feels almost holy. Until a letter arrives, handwritten, neat block letters, no return address. It says, "I'm glad you moved. The light wasn't good there. This new place makes your eyes look greener. Let's go back to candles." I burn the letter in the sink. The alarms scream. I stare into the paper as it curls and think about the camera maps, the doormat flip, the way obsession sounds like love until it takes your breath and keeps it. Here's the moral nobody wants to hear. The internet lets people love you from angles you'll never see. And some don't know how to stop. They don't log off. They seep. Through curtains, through captions, through the negative space where you think you're alone. I hit go live again eventually, but only after I learn new rituals. I speak in decoys. I sterilize my metadata. I treat light like a locked door, and when chat asks, "Where have you been?" I smile and say, "Out of frame." Everyone says, "Join an agency, babe. Get management, get secure, get your bag." Sounds legit until the agency is just a ghost in a suit. They DM me with a gray logo and a deck full of buzzwords. We protect creators. We handle refunds. We remove leaks. We boost the contracts a dense sleep spell. But the money looks shiny. Guaranteed minimums, custom calendars, privacy audits. They promise burner numbers, a studio space, and a 24/7 safety desk. I sign. Because I'm tired. Because I want someone bigger between me and the mess. Week 1, they rebrand my page. New banner, new bio. Slick. They push themed drops, set up bundles, run ad spend. Revenue quadruples. My DMs turn into a call center, but the team answers for me. They're me, friendly, flirty, fast. For the first time in months, I sleep. Then the refund requests start. Not the normal oops ones, the weaponized kind. People buy, rip content, then file chargebacks with pre-written essays. The safety desk replies with canned lines, but the platform takes the money back. My cut, their cut. It dissolves into fees. The safety team shrugs. Industry standard. I notice the agency schedules my lives at odd hours, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and the vibe shifts. New names with numbers for faces. Their messages are precise. They know lines I cut from captions. They mention outtakes I never posted. I ping the manager. How would they know drafts? He says, "We A/B test everything." Don't worry, my stomach does. A leak appears, clips with my new watermark, but a file name from my old system. The agency says, "We're filing takedowns." The files vanish and reappear like mushrooms. They say they'll escalate. Each email looks like a copy of the last. On the 7th day, a message hits my private email, the one tied to my bank. It says, "We built your glow. We can turn it off." Attached is a spreadsheet of my subscriber list, purchase history, and notes from my DMs, notes I didn't write. The phrasing is familiar. Same stiff smile as the agency deck. I call my manager. Voicemail. The safety desk marks my ticket resolved. I reread the contract and see the trap door. I surrendered operational access. That means they sit inside everything: my page, vault, analytics, chat, drafts. We safeguard your brand voice, the clause says. Translation: they are my voice, and a voice is easy to ransom. Subs start getting DMs that aren't me. Aggressive upsells, guilt-trippy scripts. People complain, tips dip. Someone posts a screenshot of me threatening to ruin them if they refund. It's not my language, but it's my avatar, my checkmark. I go nuclear, revoke access, rotate passwords, reset 2FA with physical keys, file platform tickets as if I'm bailing a sinking boat with a teacup. The platform replies days later with, "We're looking into it." The agency replies in 1 hour with a certified letter demanding specific performance. If I block them again, they'll seek damages. Then I get swatted. Sirens braid the dawn. Boots slam stairs. My door implodes. Hands on my face, knees on my back. Someone screamed, "Gun!" I think it was my plant falling off the shelf, exploding soil across the floor. After 2 minutes and a lifetime, the cops realized the call was a lie. Anonymous. "We get these," an officer says, already tired. When they leave, my apartment feels like a stage after a show. Quiet, but the air's been touched. The agency calls. "Unfortunate," says the manager, as if discussing weather. "We can handle the PR. We'll tell your fans it was harassment." I hang up and slide down the wall, soil chalking my palms. I talk to other creators. DMs turn into group therapy. People whisper about agencies that act like big brothers until they become jealous stepfathers. There's talk of fake leak cleanup that's churn. One team uploads, another removes, invoice, repeat. Rumors of agencies trading high-value sublists like cards. The stories are too similar to be coincidences. I hire a real lawyer. We terminate for breach, misrepresentation, unauthorized messaging, failure to provide safety. It gets messy. Law always does. In the meantime, I go analog. I film at a friend's place. I build a new device chain. Fresh laptop, clean phone, alias accounts. Password manager like religion. I split identity and operations like a magician palming coins. The agency keeps sending emails. "We built you. We'll bury you. We own your voice." But the platform finally cuts their access. Slowly, piece by piece, like pulling leeches. The leaks dry up after I change everything. And then the quiet returns. Thin at first, then thicker, like moss regrowing where fire passed. I start speaking about it, carefully. Not naming, but warning. I tell my audience, agencies can be mirrors or masks. A mirror reflects you bigger. A mask speaks without you inside. Learn the difference before the contract inks you into silence. When people ask, was it worth it? I tell them safety isn't a perk. It's a practice. Nobody sells it in a deck. You build it in layers. Clean metadata, compartmentalized devices, zero trust access, legal literacy. You build it like a ritual and guard it like a secret. And late at night, when I'm tempted to believe in easy saviors, I remember the ghost in the suit, how it learned my voice and practiced it until it rang like a bell down a hallway I couldn't see the end of.
I used to joke my apartment was a set, 3 corners staged, 1 corner real dirty dishes, laundry pile, the unglamorous 4th wall. When I moved into the new place, I promised. Real walls this time, locks like commitments, curtains like boundaries. It was a good promise until the house started talking back. The building was from the 70s, old bones, thin skin. First week, I film a welcome video, sunlit, cheerful, safe. I pan across the living room, linger in the kitchen with its retro tiles. Comments are kind. Someone says the tiles look like candy. Someone else says they look like a diner that closed years ago. Cute. Then a DM arrives with a cropped photo. My reflection in the kettle. Warped silver oval. The message says, "You're getting sloppy with chrome." I tape over anything reflective, stop filming at windows, post at weird hours. The house sighs, pipes clank, Fridge hum, settling noises. I tell myself it's normal. One night, a neighbor knocks. She's older, pajama slippers. "You had a visitor," she says. Tall boy, hood up. He stood on the sidewalk for a long time. She frowns. "He never looked at the door, he looked at your windows." I buy a hallway camera, the normal kind. Blinking blue dot. Next morning, it's turned to face the wall. The footage shows a gloved hand reach up, tilt, then static. The building shrugs. Kids. The city shrugs bigger. Subscribers start noticing a shadow in my videos. It's subtle, like the room is breathing. Lights dim, then rise. On freeze frame, a silhouette in the gloss of a cabinet door, slender, off-center, like someone standing just out of frame. I swear it's compression artifacts, but the angle's wrong. Then I go live. Chat's playful. I'm loose. Tea drunk. A ping hits. A tip from caretaker. The message says, "Lower your voice, walls are thin." I laugh. My house is like a drum. Caretaker tips again. Everything. That night, something knocks from inside the wall. 3 slow taps. I lie in bed and see the blueprint in my head. Could a person fit? The answer is no. Still no when I put my ear to the wall and hear a faint scrape, like wires brushing plaster. I call an electrician. He says wiring's fine. A plumber says pipes aren't knocking. I call a friend just to hear a voice. We talk about nothing. I watch the hallway camera blink steady. The next package arrives. A doormat that says welcome back. Identical to the one I left at my old place. I toss it. That night, it reappears in front of my door. Crisp and new. I DM the platform's safety team about a subscriber whose messages feel too exact. They send FAQs. Consider contacting law enforcement. I consider it. I remember a friend's SWAT story and decide the house is safer than hops with the wrong address. Caretaker's messages become architectural notes. Your bedroom window latch sticks, try graphite. The bathroom fan wheezes because it's venting into a closed cavity. The breaker panel is mislabeled. Bedroom is on circuit 3, not 4. This isn't the vibe. This is occupancy. I pull the breaker and sit in candlelight just to listen. Without electricity, the house sounds like an animal settling outside. Footsteps pass, inside. The 3 polite taps repeat. I tap back. Once the house waits, my phone buzzes. Caretaker. Good, you're learning the rhythm. I can't prove anything. I can only feel everything, like the house and I are sharing a nervous system. I start sleeping in the living room, back to the couch, facing the hall, shoes by the door, a go bag packed. My content shifts. Slower videos, fewer lives. More distance. Caretaker approves with small hearts. I find the crawlspace hatch by accident. Behind a false panel in the closet, dust looks stirred. The air smells dry. Old wood and secrets. I shine my phone light in and see chalk marks on the joists, dates, initials, arrows pointing to studs. Someone mapped this place. There's a thermos lid, a wrapper, and the torn corner of a paper with my old address. I back out and close the panel like tucking a child to sleep. I book a hotel under an alias and post nothing for 3 days. I breathe until my breaths sound like mine. When I come back, the hallway camera blinks at the wall again. There's a note under it. Blinking lights are invitations. On the new plain doormat sits a small bag inside. Window latches, the exact model mine use. A card. Graphite in the right places makes everything quieter. I don't take the latches, I take photos for the police. I won't call, I take memories of how a home can become a mouth, and I take this lesson. Sometimes the safest wall is the one between you and the audience. I move again. New burrow, new rituals. Tape, curtains, covers, clean devices, staggered posts, no location mentions. Broken patterns. I tell my audience I'm focusing on storytime content. Most understand. A few miss the intimacy. One account named Caretaker never resurfaces, but sometimes at 7 a.m., my new house sighs with a 3-beat rhythm, and I wonder if buildings learn from each other. When followers ask for a house tour, I say, maybe one day. What I mean is, never, not because I don't love them, because I do, because love isn't surveillance, and safety isn't a vibe, it's a blueprint. You redraw until the only thing that leaks is light under a door you chose to close.